Hello everyone, it's Dr. Mende again. We had already discussed histology of the skin and we focused on dermis and the epidermis, and now we're going to discuss the appendages of the skin. Okay? These are the objectives of the presentation. What are the appendages of the skin and what are their organization? So when you see this slide in your exam, this is definitely skin. Stratified, squamous, keratinized epithelium. So this is your epithelium, the epidermis. Okay. Then when you look at the dermis, you're able to appreciate when you see this, these are sebaceous glands. Okay. And these are hair follicles cut through. So these are cross sections of hair follicles. Okay. So this is skin. So you'll see sweat glands, sebaceous glands, hair follicles, and stratified squamous epithelium. Definitely these are fibroblasts, collagen fibers. Okay. So we have different appendages of the skin. Remember, we have two types of sweat glands. You have merocrine or eccrine sweat glands on the normal part of the skin, and the apocrine sweat glands, mainly where you have hair, like in the axilla and in the genital areas. We also have ceruminous glands in the ear that produce wax. Those are also appendages of the skin. The mammary glands are modified sweat glands, therefore they are also appendages of the skin, commonly considered as female reproductive glands, okay, because they are used to nourish the young ones, and they're also sensitive organs during sexual stimulate. They are able to be stimulated sexually. We have hair and nails. These are also appendages of the skin. So this is generally the structure of the skin. You can see the epidermis, good small girls like candy to your cornea. And then this is the dermis, which has fat, dermis, hypodermis. So this is fat and neurovascular structures. This is a sweat gland. You can see it's an exocrine gland opening through a duct. This is a hair follicle, and this is a sebaceous gland. Sebaceous glands usually open on a hair follicle pathway. So this is a sebaceous gland. This is a sweat gland. Sweat gland, tubular gland. Okay. So we start with the hair. So these are usually slender keratinous filaments that develop from hair follicles. And on transverse section, they have parts, an inner medulla and an outermost cuticle. But in the midway, you have the cortex. So you start with medulla, cortex, then cuticle is the outermost. So this is what we are discussing. So this is your hair, okay, and I told you sebaceous glands open near the hair shaft. So this is your shaft, this is your sebaceous gland, this is the root, and this is the bulb of the hair. Your subcutaneous or adipose tissue is here. This is the papilla. You can see some melanocytes here to give hair the color, and you have the different parts. This is your shaft. The medulla is the innermost, followed by cortex. Okay. Then you have your connective tissue sheath and your internal epithelial sheath. So you have the different parts. So if you follow this, this is your internal epithelial root sheath. This is your external epithelial root sheath. Then the outer surface is the glassy membrane. This is your medulla, definitely. Okay. We go to sebaceous glands. These are found in all types of skin except the thick skin. Remember, we said thick skin is on the palmar and plantar surfaces of hand and foot, respectively. Sebaceous glands, they are ducts open into the necks of hair follicles, except in the penis in male, labia minora and clitoris in female, and also in the lips, where they open directly onto the surface of the skin. Okay, they don't need to open at the hair follicle. So they are usually classified as simple branched alveolar gland. Simple because the duct does not divide into, primary, secondary, tertiary division, and then alveolar because the glandular portion is circular in shape, and the mode of secretion is holocrine because they destroy the cell after secretion. They secrete sebum, which is usually a lubricant and also has antiseptic properties. So you'll get this picture in your steeplechase. Medical students, 200 level, will ask you identify. So this is a pilosebaceous unit. Pilosebaceous unit is made up of a hair follicle, sebaceous gland opening on the hair follicle and the hair erector pili muscle. So when it contracts, it pushes the sebaceous gland to secrete secretion. So three components of pilosebaceous unit: the hair follicle, sebaceous gland, and hair erector pili muscle. Sweat glands, we have apocrine or merocrine. Apocrine found in the axilla, pubic region, and areola of the breast. So these ones, they secrete and destroy the apices of the cell. That's why they're apocrine. The merocrine will secrete and leave the cell intact. So apocrine, remember we said, where you have hair and also in the areola of the breast. So they secrete sweat, and this sweat is degraded by bacteria, and that gives it a distinct odor. Okay. So what's the structure of sweat glands? There are usually simple and coiled branch. Simple because the duct does not branch. Then they are coiled and mainly lie within the dermis and hypodermis. The ducts usually have myoepithelial cells also surrounding the glands. Myo, they're able to contract, so they contract and aid in expulsion of the secretion. The ducts of sweat glands are lined by cuboidal epithelium. So these are the sweat glands: simple, coiled, and they have ducts. So when you see this, this means this is a sweat gland, okay, that has been, this is your ducts of the gland, okay, and these are the coils. These coils, if you cut a cross section, this is how it will appear. These are hair follicles, I told you. Remember, when you see this cross sections of hair follicles, this is your epidermis, stratified, squamous, keratinized. Okay, so in this case, this is actually ceruminous gland because this was a section from the ear. So the ones that produce wax. This is the duct of the gland, hair follicles, then your epidermis, this is your dermis. Nails are thickened epithelial surfaces of the phalanges. Okay, they lie on the nail bed. The nail bed usually has a fold proximally and laterally. So if you look at your nail, on the proximal aspect, there is a fold and laterally surrounding the nail. So the proximal part of the nail is hidden under the nail groove. That's the nail root. Okay, and the epithelial cells under the nail root form the matrix. So nail is just a modified skin that is heavily keratinized. If you look at your nail, on the proximal and the lateral aspects, you have folds. And some nail is hidden under the proximal fold, and that's what forms the nail root. So this is what we're discussing. This is your nail bed, okay, where the nail lies. This is the nail bed. This is the proximal fold, which we're talking about. And some nail is under the proximal fold, that's the root of the nail, and it comes from a matrix, nail matrix. So this proximal fold is what you call eponychium. Then this hypopigmented region of the nail is the lunula. These are the lateral folds we're referring to. This is the body, and this is the free edge of the nail. So this is eponychium here. Okay, this one here. This is your eponychium, just after the proximal fold, and then this is your hyponychium and the free edge of the nail. This is your phalanx, the distal phalanx. All right.